Energy of form explained. We know the pyramidal structure contains both inside and out the apparently self-generating energy of form. Through sophisticated dowsing techniques, it is easy to measure these invisible waves. Furthermore, by adding to or altering the original structure, new emanations occur. For example, the energy output is greatly enhanced by covering the open base of the pyramid replica. The addition of a metal maypole emerging from the base up through the pyramid center some few inches above the apex, or one mounted on a small platform atop, creates a change in the measurable waves at hand. The addition of various types of sizes of capstones presents different dowsing reactions. Some experimenters have introduced the use of copper bands, wires, screens, and other metallic substances with striking results. In future articles, we'll go into some detail covering the above mentioned phenomena, also the results of stacking, cone pyramid cyclotrons, and other tests conducted by Mr. Cameron over the past 25 years. We find certain emanations issuing from globes, blessed water, religious objects, signatures, and other objects and substances tested, though they may be of different or similar origin. These waves from forms present a vast field for experimentation, as will be shown also by Cameron's tests with carbon magnets, the ray gun, and radio equipment. El Turin, an engineer and radio expert, believed that pyramids and certain other forms act as cosmic resonators. T.M. Tucker of Portland, Oregon, suggests the Cameron cones radiate blackbody microwaves and possibly galactic fireball radiation is involved. The astonishing Cameron cones. The Cameron cones are a momentous discovery since they have the unique faculty of accumulating a strange new force or wavelength of energy from the ether. These emanations being similar to the auric energy surrounding the human body and closely related to the extraordinary force attached to the Great Pyramid of Giza and its replicas. I believe this force is associated with the rays of energy reflected from underground water. These rays and forces can supplement or amplify, in some cases, counteract each other. The Cameron cones are the result of many years of the laboratory and in the field experimentation in quest of the origin and nature of rays similar to those of light which emanate or reflect from underground streams of water. The energy Vern Cameron, have found in a series of tests comes in from outer space, probably saturating the ether which penetrates everything around us. This mysterious energy is attracted to the cone form, gliding along its outer surface and then thrown off from its apex or vertex. The ray or beam, if not confined, travels from the cone in a gradually increasing column to a great distance. In the case of a 22-inch aluminum cone, the beam projects out approximately 1/2 mile to where it comes to an abrupt end and there measures nearly 300 feet in diameter. The beam behaves in the manner of an invisible searchlight striking a cloud. This energy resembles the characteristics of electricity, in fact is a form of electricity, but it also follows many laws governing light. It seems, in some ways, to bridge the gap between the two. It therefore seems certain that it has an exceedingly short wavelength. I have determined that it lies between the upper end of the cosmic ray spectrum, embracing all the rays from the alpha, 1,400,000,000th of a millimeter in wavelength, and the ultraviolet just below visible light. I'm fairly certain this energy operates in the gap of unknown rays just above X-ray, of which there are many variations. Alternating current with the wavelength of 400 million millimeters, for example, is found at the top of this ray spectrum. When a 22-inch cone is hung on a wall or post, a 10-inch diameter conical beam is projected out at the start. Since it seemed to be meeting resistance in the ether, which pervades all space. I became convinced years ago that if I could confine this beam to prevent its flaring, concentrating it into a high pressure beam. After months of laboratory experimentation, I found this beam, because of its terrific voltage, could be conducted through any wire, large or small. And when the energy followed a wire in a right hand spiral wrapped around a 2-foot long glass tube with a 1/4 inch wire spacing between windings, it induced an electromagnetic type force in an iron pipe placed inside the glass tube. The simple ray gun ejected a powerful beam many miles long from the tip or forward end of the tube. That is, if the wire from the cone were attached to the rear end of the spiral. But if the wire were wound anti-clockwise, the cone ray reversed its direction and projected the handle or its attached end of the tube. This showed a distinct polarity, direct current rather than an altering current. Preserving perishables. About 9 years ago, university biologists claimed the mummified skin cells of the ancient Egyptian princess, Mini, were capable of life, even though she had been dead for thousands of years. Colonel Richard Howard Weiss, nearly a century and a half ago, while exploring the Great Pyramid of Giza, came across a peculiar black powder covering the floor of Davidson's chamber above the king's chamber. The substance proved to be the mummified skins, shells, and exuviae of ancient insects. How or when they got there is beyond reasonable conjecture. It appears evident the self-contained energy within the pyramids contributed substantially to the remarkable mummification techniques developed by the ancient Egyptians, methods unsurpassed even in modern times. Dairy farms in Yugoslavia and Italy provide milk stored in pyramidal-shaped cartons. Reports are that this unrefrigerated milk stays fresh for prolonged periods of time. A commercial enterprise in France preserves yogurt in specially designed containers. Monsieur Bovis, a Frenchman working inside the Great Pyramid, found waste cans containing the mummified bodies of small animals apparently trapped inside at some time. A dehydrated corpse of a dead cat showed no evidence of putrefaction, although Bovis noted there was sufficient humidity within the chambers to have caused natural decay. The Frenchman's discovery led to further experimentation and wooden replicas, later built in Europe, established the preserving quality of pyramidal forms when placed over organic material.
Here are instructions of how to create the pyramidal replica at the right proportions.